2025 is coming out swinging. We've got a sex possum, a speed date that turns into a car chase, and we nuke the ocean. Come on.
That's it. New Year, say must, and that's your problem. Welcome to the first Fast Five of 2025, episode 22, the double deuce of dumb movie ideas. I'm John.
And I'm Harrison. We're back, baby. And our resolution for this year? Nothing. We are perfect.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This week, we're diving back into Untappd because y'all drank a lot over the holidays, so we've got a ton of check-ins to sift through tonight as we kick off this new year with you.
Yeah, I hope you brought your imaginations because you'll need them to keep up. And if you think that's all we've got, next week's feature film episode is going to hit you with a brand new twist we are very excited about.
But that's a problem for future us.
Yeah.
Thank you for that line, Harrison. Right now, let's find out how much movie magic we can squeeze out of a few beers and a lot of bad ideas. Harrison, are you ready to dive back into movie madness?
Oh, I was born ready. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our last feature of 2024, Bill's Banana Hammock, a heartfelt tale of magic, manhood, and a divorced dad who may or may not have saved Christmas with his shrinking dignity.
Truly, the miracle of 34th Street of sex comedies.
Oh, my goodness.
Warning, no actual movies were harmed in the making of this podcast, though several six-packs gave their lives for the cause.
All right, John. Let's give the people what they didn't ask for, a recap of Bill's Banana Hammock.
Because nothing says Happy New Year like magical underwear and a dad with diminishing returns.
That's all I am, just diminishing returns. I've been there. I'm there every day. Okay, I have a few thoughts. Not a ton. Some larger thoughts.
Larger.
So
you're early in the film.
The beginning of Bill's Banana Hammock. But as always, I'll throw to you first, John. What's at the top of your mind or the top of your banana hammock when you think of Bill's Banana Hammock?
Well, I know we were excited to use banana for our first beer of 24 and our last beer feature film of 24. The two things that jump out at me are I kept butchering the name of the brewery that made that beer, and when I reread it a handful of times, it's like a nod to surfing. It's Swells of Brewing. Right. Like Swells of Brewing out in the ocean. So my apologies. I think I understand that now. I made that up, but it makes sense to me. Swells of Brewing out there. Let's go surfing.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
Like kind of close to the coast.
Oh, they are. Yeah,
okay.
They're like in the Outer Banks, I'm pretty sure. I just assumed Swells was like a cool slang term for like waves, but Swells of Brewing, I love this.
It could be I'm not in on I got no riz, but the other thing that was my favorite part is your creation of fencers. And there's a line you said in Bill's Banana Hammock where you're like, they lost their right to sell anything. Like, as I was editing that episode, it just made me die laughing.
Yeah, fencers, you want to be stuck there after midnight or before midnight or any time ever. It's a dirt mall.
They
of a
lost
place.
their whole right to sell anything.
Sell anything anymore. Not people, not products. Yeah, a sketchy place. That was fun and a nod to Spencer's, the store I wasn't allowed to go into until the mall if my parents were there, but the first place I went when they weren't.
As is natural.
Just right to that back room. Where are those fake breasts up on the wall? I don't know. I'm going to find him. To be 15 again. So, okay. My thoughts, a few. It wasn't exactly this, but whenever you introduce a magical lamp or banana hammock, it obviously echoes of other famous movies like Aladdin, where you get wishes, or even like Liar and Yes Man from Jim Carrey. Like those were, he was kind of stuck in a wish or stuck in a magical scenario that he had to kind of at first seemed, well, Liar Liar seemed horrible, and then he overcame it. Yes Man was kind of the opposite. He was like freed from his boring no life. But anyway, so it was cool to do that, to play in that kind of sandbox and have fun with some magical thing that has ups and downs, and put our main character, put Bill in a situation where he really wasn't in control, or even when he thought he wasn't, because the banana hammock is gonna do what it's gonna do. But in those movies, I feel like it's tempting to always like use magic to get out of the situation, like just magic Bill's problems away, which he tried to do a couple times and failed. So I'm glad we didn't do that, and it was, a heartfelt kind of scene at the end that helped him escape his banana hammock curse. Although we did have a sexy nun come in and finish the job with some magic, help Bill regain his manhood. But that's okay.
I think sexy nunning your way out of a plot is actually good for Hear Me That movie.
Yeah, and it happened a couple of times last season. Not a ton, but I think enough where it's fun, and I'm glad the sexy nun made it all the way through and showed up a couple times last year as we started this thing. And as you said, bananas start to end. So I'm very curious about what this year will bring. If there'll be another fruit beer tonight, if there'll be some entirely different theme we carry through 2025, or not at all. But Bill's Banana Hammock was a lot of fun. I'm going to giggle at Swelza Brewing in my head all night because I did not put both those things together. But thanks for that, Swelza. And Bill, you're out there, wherever you are out there. I'm sure we all know a Bill who's gotten to tussle with a metaphorical or real banana hammock. Best of luck to you out there.
Probably fits him a lot better now.
right. That's when you want snug, though. I feel like it's all about speed when you're in a banana hammock, and I guess fashion. I don't know.
European.
There you go. Right.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of them over here, which is why if you do run across one, be careful. It probably is magical.
Right. It might be that. We might be encountering somebody who's in a really bad situation.
Even if it doesn't shrink your bill junk,
right,
it will shrink your chances of having a child.
Right.
So
certainly.
maybe wear one, if you're still young and promiscuous. You should be rocking one all the time.
Right.
Keep those boys close.
That's right. See what happens. You never know what kind of magic might fall out of a banana hammock. All right. So that was good reminiscing about good old Bill. Let's kick off 2025 the right way with a beer in hand and a bad idea on the horizon.
Again, couldn't have said it better, Harrison. What is the first beer that we're going to have taking center stage on Beer Me That Movie 2025?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you asked. All right. We're going to crack into it. So this week's beer of the week, beer of the episode is from, the beer name is Kirkland Signature Hella Style Lager. And yes, I said Kirkland, so we're thinking Costco here. This is a Costco beer, but made by Deschutes Brewery. It's a Hella Style Lager. Comes in at 4.5%. And I think on the can or from Kirkland or maybe Deschutes, it says savor. Yeah, it does. The triumph of a 2023 Great American Beer Festival gold medalist, a beer that stands out among the finest in America. So the cool kind of quick backstory on this guy, as John dives in, is so you may know if you're a beer fan or just a human that like Costco is great. We've talked about it. We put them up against all the big Miami fashion houses in a Fast Five last year, and they destroyed them all. They mopped the floor with them. So we're Costco fans, but their light beer has like historically been like just horrible and gross and whatever reason. This one though, they've turned a corner and recognized that was the only blemish in an otherwise crispy clean Costco history of things. I don't know, stuff they make and sell. So they righted a wrong and partnered with Deschutes and actually grabbed a beer that Deschutes won the gold medal with for Hella Style Lager, Munich Style Lager, excuse me. So in 2023, so this is like an amazing beer hiding in a Kirkland can, and I've been drinking them for a while since I picked
do
it
a lot
up.
of research.
So I'm glad I get to share it with you, John. And also, funny note, if you've been hanging out with John and I for a while, I feel like we've tried to make it the year of the lager like 3 or 4 years now. So we're doing it again. We're starting the year off with a lager. I think we've been proven right. It's been the year of lager in the world too. But
we certainly started a little early. But I think the signposts we were planting are starting to catch eyes now. And this is so on brand for Costco.
Yeah.
I haven't tried their shitty version of light lager in the past. I'm happy about that now. But now you're getting Kirkland Signature Lager. Yeah. And it's a gold medal winner last year.
Yeah, exactly. 2023. Yeah. So
totally on brand for Costco.
Yeah. But Love to Shoots. Those guys make great beer. And we're going to enjoy this one this evening. But as always, this is not the beer that is going to inspire the movies or be the title of the movies. We're just inspiring us and fueling us with this beer tonight as we jump into the Fast Five. But then we've got a few things to say before we do that, and then we'll get goofy and get weird.
Look, one very important thing to let you all know is that we don't run ads on this show. But Harrison hustles way too hard keeping our social media alive and subjectively funny. So follow us, tag us in your beer pictures on the internet, drop your comments to Beer Me That Movie on your favorite social media platform.
And if typing feels like too much effort, just leave us a voicemail. You can go to speakpipe.com/beermethatmovie or hit the link on our website, which is, of course, beermethatmovie.com. We'll listen, and hey, you might even make it on the show. It's happened a couple times already.
Yeah, and speaking of listeners, this Fast Five is dedicated to everyone that's come along with us through 2024.
Yes.
We're going on to Untappd. We're going to find all the beers that you've been drinking. We're going to turn them into quick pitches for movie ideas, and one of them is going to become a feature film in next week's episode. So without further ado, let me kick this R-Type Honda hatchback Civic Hybrid into high gear.
What does that sound like? Is there shifting in that car?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a 6-speed. Shift into Fast Five. So for our first beer of 2025, I don't mean to make a big deal about it, but it is a big deal.
It's a big deal. New year.
We're landing on a beer from Stone Cloud Brewing Company that's called Back Alley Kitty.
Back Alley Kitty. I've done a few of those in my day, John. Cats.
We're talking about cats.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think as we look at the logo here, I think a back alley kitty is a fun slang term for a possum, I would imagine, which makes complete sense. Almost as good as referring to raccoons as trash pandas, which people do.
They do, and back alley kitties are
back alley kitties getting together.
They play dead.
Oh my gosh, among other things. But I don't think we're gonna make a movie about possums. We could.
Honestly, that'd be a good film.
Yeah, they're kind of terrifying. They look like someone stretched someone else's face on their face. They're the Hannibal Lecter of marsupials.
They weren't made to look very attractive.
When one's in your yard and the flashlight lands on it, I have a panic attack every time I do. I lose 5 pounds.
If my heart stops beating, it can't kill me.
Right. I'm gonna take myself first. You won't find me, get me alive.
They're like
stupid cat.
Aren't they a marsupial?
They are a marsupial. Yeah, they got a pouch. And I think that's other things require you to be a marsupial, but I know they have a pouch.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. It's something about nighttime.
So they're like an American kangaroo.
Exactly right. That's what we got. We got the American version, which is basically a trash panda that has a pouch. But this back alley kitty. Okay. So again, not a possum movie. What can we do with this thing, John?
Now I just want to make it a possum movie. So back alley kitty. I'll play to the crowd here. Back Alley Kitty is a movie that is about a vengeful woman.
Okay.
And what happened is she was in college. She had big dreams.
Got it.
She was going to go on and do big things. And her college boyfriend probably cheated on her, gave her an STD. She spun out. She went out to the back alley or the gopher hole or whatever the local college bar was.
The gopher hole.
And she collected a bunch more STDs.
Oh gosh! Just not picking them up off the ground.
She was she was just she was looking for
got it.
Guys that vaped outside of the bar.
That's right. Yeah, wearing balloon.
And she'd be like, I want to sleep with you. Yeah. And after she collected enough of them, she kind of turned into this vigilante superhero, where then she would begin targeting evildoers.
Whoa.
And she was attractive,
Oh.
and she would use her body as a way to distribute justice to them in the form of a burning pea.
Right, kind of a Batman type story where when she's at her darkest and feels like she's lost it all, some wise alley witch approaches her and is like, you can change the world if you put your mind to it. It all starts with that fire crotch you got, or whatever wisdom she bestows. And then she pulls herself up, does some training. I don't know how you train to seduce evil people.
You just wear lipstick.
That's it, right? And then okay, I see this. So kind of like a gross Batman.
Really not much different than Batman.
Right. You're right. Sure. He's gross in a different way.
He dispenses justice to bad guys with his fists and a bunch of little ropes and gadgets. She uses her God-given tools.
Different ropes and gadgets.
If you want to tie me up, it's going to cost extra. But
that's right.
Either way you leave here, you're never going to have a family again.
That's right. Your life will never be the same. Hope you make like it hurting while you pee. It does that already. Son of a gun. Someone got to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be, that definitely sounds like a back alley kitty. But what if so let's take this lady of the night, and let's spin her around a little bit.
Perfect. Exactly what the first CEO did.
That's right. That's extra, but it's absolutely on the menu. So let's change her slightly, or maybe drastically. Another thought I had when we first came across Back Alley Kitty was kind of like a Groundhog Day type movie, a time loop movie, or maybe we have a protagonist, let's say a young man in the bar, and he's supposed to do something there. We're not sure what, as the audience, gets into some trouble, gets thrown out the back, meets said Back Alley Kitty, is seduced or whatever. They end up getting after it in the back of her Honda hatchback.
Perfect.
Or someone's hatchback back there.
A Honda hatchback.
And as they're doing the deed, this young man learns not that she's riddled with STDs, but maybe she's riddled with the ability to reset the day. And she gives him an ominous type message of like, you weren't supposed to make it to the alley or see me tonight. You've got work to do in there. And then boom, a flash, and he wakes up, standing in line waiting to get into the bar 40 minutes earlier, whatever it is. And so
I like we had a little bit of fun with this with Window Seat Daydream.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's right.
Early on in the podcast.
I love that one. That was such a cool twist and a cool way to, you haven't listened to that one. That one's a secret favorite of mine.
And I like the idea, the movie effectively is us learning more and more progressively about this guy and maybe what he's supposed to do in this bar according to the universe.
Right.
But I really want to have fun with every night at the end of the night.
He's like,
he sees, like, maybe she just comes into the bar to go to the bathroom.
Like, you didn't do it again.
She winks at him and he's like, oh, I can't say no. Right. And he always ends up sleeping with her and resetting time. He has the option to just go home.
But he can't say no.
But she'll walk in and she'll be like, I'm sorry, I left my cell phone here. Right. Sorry, honey. Oh. And he's like, oh my God, I have to have you. Like,
right, exactly right. Can you tell me what's going on, lady? I know you know who I am. Come with me to the hatchback. That'll be fun. We learn whoever's hatchback it actually is.
I lost this button on my sweater.
Right.
Is it too revealing? Oh, time reset again.
Boop. It'd be a great day to get stuck in for this guy. It's a win-win. He either figures out whatever mystery this is, or he just keeps getting lucky in the back of this hatchback.
Yeah, maybe one night he even says, I'm not going to go near her, but she walks in and she's looking extra hot.
Yeah.
So he goes in the bathroom and he handles it himself. And as soon as he finishes, boom, right back in line.
Right, her head pops out into the urinal. Not that easy. Nice try. Doesn't work that way. Poof. Gone. That would be funny. That definitely will happen.
Back Alley Kitty, or it could be called edging.
Right. Forever. 10,000 years of edging, until he figures out that he was just supposed to tip his bartender better, or whatever the mystery is. It'll be better than that. But the Back Alley Kitty knows and isn't giving up the goods. Well, not those goods, giving up different goods to our protagonist here. He's got to figure out the mystery himself, or be faced with sketchy sex in an alley, which
honestly,
Again, win-win for this kid.
Tough day for Matt here who checked this beer in.
You're not even trying to figure out the mystery, are you? You're just waiting for me to come in, aren't you? I know what you're talking about.
I drank the same beer. I sat at the same.
Let's go find that button that came off your blouse in the back of that hatchback. That's not the mystery.
Almost. There's a movie like this with Tom Cruise where he has to fight like aliens.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Great film.
Gosh, I love that movie.
I mean, both horrible, but one of his best.
Oh, it's the best. I love that movie. That's a great movie. Yeah, those time loop movies are fun. Palm Springs with Andy Samberg is another one that's good. Yeah, they're fun when they're done correctly, and you don't try to rip off Groundhog Day too much. But we haven't done one. Well, right. When Does He Daydream was that, but different.
Yeah, it was different enough. There was a little time loopy happening, but I think it was different enough.
Yeah. All right, cool. I like that.
All right, so first one in the books for the year, Back Alley Kitty. Let's see if we can do any better than that.
One down, more to go.
So for beer number 2, we've got one from Collective Arts Brewing, checked in by Kale, named Deceptive Creature. And I've got nothing for this. It's the same movie we just did.
I was going to say, it very well could be. It's so funny in these episodes. There's echoes of the same movie, I feel like, every night. We try not to do that, obviously. Try not to indulge that. So for this one, forgetting about the Back Alley Kitty.
Hard to do as it is.
It really is. I'm back in that hatchback trying to find that button right now. For Deceptive Creature, the first thought I had, and this is going to reveal, well, I guess it's not really revealing too much, but I kind of imagined something to the effect of like group of friends in a log cabin for the weekend, partying it up or whatever, spring break, woo. We've all seen this movie before, Start This Way. But one of the women that's there, young lady, whatever, she's kind of a little under the weather. I don't want to party. Just you guys go ahead. Don't let me slow you down, but I'm going to take a nap. It's, I'm sleeping well. Maybe you don't think much of it. And so as the movie progresses, that night, as they're all, doing drugs and being awesome, we were hearing tree branches break outside, something running around that sounds big. They're starting to get freaked out. Is it a bear? Is it a person? Is it a Sasquatch? We don't know as the audience, but the bigger problem that nobody has picked up on yet is that this woman who didn't feel good is actually a werewolf about to wolf out. And so you have a bunch of kids in this cabin terrified of some monster outside, unknown to them. A monster in the bedroom behind them is about to give them a bigger problem as well. And maybe, and this is where we can have fun with the feature, if it gets there, but like, does it turn out to like be a Sasquatch and the humans team up with the Sasquatch to fight this werewolf friend? Ooh. Do they team up with the werewolf to beat whatever monster's outside? Does something else happen? So you don't know who to trust, what to trust, who's bad, who's good. Should we even care about these douchebag loser kids with their, I don't know, their mop, their buzz cuts and their Timberlands, whatever.
Everybody's wearing a starter jacket.
That's what I'm seeing. Should we just get eaten by either of these monsters? So we can kind of play a bit with characters and monsters and things like that. So that was what I thought of, John, as a deceptive creature.
Deceptive creature is a monster within.
Yes.
The woman who wasn't feeling good, maybe she knew she was a werewolf. Maybe she didn't. Maybe it happened on the way to this. Because how does a werewolf become friends with
normal people?
Maybe we play back and we see, she fed a wolf as they were coming to this cabin. Who knows?
Okay. They're trying to get in to get to her, maybe.
But so if I'm in this cabin and she turns into a werewolf, I know silver bullets. We got to put her down. Werewolves are not friendly, even though you were before the moon. Right now, I think you will kill me given the opportunity. So I love putting a Sasquatch, maybe not a Sasquatch, but a even worse monster outside.
Right.
So now this deceptive werewolf inside is an ally if we can use it right. Yeah. So they're like trying to like lure it by giving it jars of peanut butter and stuff,
yeah,
like
right.
whatever, like dog treats, like throwing sausages out by the door, like come on, Sherry,
right,
come on, Sherry, you remember your name, right?
Save us from whatever the heck's outside. Right, that's kind of what I'm imagining, is trying to allow yourself with a werewolf that doesn't recognize you as anything other than food, before you get eaten by whatever is outside. And yeah, so we can hammer out the rest. But that's a Deceptive Creature.
For maybe an ending,
Ooh.
There's a worse villain outside, an actual monster outside. And as the film progresses, we start to realize maybe Sherry's just doing this for TikTok. And she dressed up as a werewolf, but now she can't convince her friends that it's a disguise, and they push her outside, and this monster destroys her.
Yes, just eats poor Sherry, rips her Halloween costume.
All on TikTok Live. Her friends don't care. They're streaming it too. He's like,
right.
I just got like 50 new
Leonardo
followers.
DiCaprio just started following me. This is my best one of my life. Is that real blood? Is that Sherry's leg? On the roof?
The wolf mask just flew off. Wolf mask.
Wolf mask. Oh my God, what have we done?
Perhaps she wasn't lying.
That'd be fun. That'd be a new way. All right, put it on TikTok. Have the whole thing be a TikTok live stream. It all happens during the stream.
Oh, that'd be, I mean, I would hate that,
Me too, but
I could see Hollywood buying it and be like, the whole story is told through the lens of TikTok.
Streaming.
Or vertical video, but the movie itself wouldn't be, because that'd be fucking gross.
Yes, it would. Amen. But yeah, we got something there, I think. Deceptive Creature, creepy cabin in the woods type movie.
You know what they say?
Werewolves.
Beer number 3 is when the wolves come out. In 2025, they did a little early.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say, I've never said that.
Well.
All right, let's see what's coming up next.
That's 2. You guys are thirsty.
For beer number 3, when it always gets weird, we'll see if this one gets weird. I don't know, but
it might.
It's made by Yeasty Boys, which is one of the best brewery names that exists. Checked in by Dennis, and it's called Speed Date.
Speed Date.
And it looks like he's got a little Squid Games going on in the background of that check-in.
Which may inspire this movie, if only subconsciously, although now I guess it's not subconscious. But, oh, man. I can see the rough edges of this. It's not coming to focus yet, but it's essentially something to the effect of man, like, you know, some guy, is he a spy? Is he a bank robber? Stumbles upon, like, actually, you know, running from someone, runs into a bar where a speed dating event is happening, where people are going around and switching, you know, who they're talking to, a bunch of single people every 3 minutes or however speed dating works, and gets like swept up into this, lands next to some beautiful woman, and is like, I gotta take you hostage. Like, if I'm gonna live, we gotta go now. And like, now this unsuspecting woman is on this high stakes chase as part of her speed date. And obviously there's fast things in it, like fast cars. And so there's a play up on the word speed. They're dating, and then of course they're gonna fall in love. Well, she hates him because she just kidnapped him, but he's maybe a good guy.
Stockholm syndrome,
blah blah blah. Right, or Stockholm syndrome. Right, it's a case study.
If you're having a hard time in your speed dating, here's a hack that they don't want you to know.
That's right. Just kidnap her. Eventually, she'll love you. It's pretty good stuff.
Give her food, give her water, become her caretaker.
That's right. And then one day, just take the chains off and see what happens. She probably won't run.
You know what they say? If you can take the chains off and they don't kill you,
it's love.
It's meant to be.
Something.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't go there, but maybe it does. But I'm just imagining some fun kind of, you know, spy thriller movie thing with two people who didn't expect to fall in love today, doing exactly that while also trying not to die. And those are movies that are fun. It has like Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibes, or one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, Night and Day, that he did with Cameron Diaz, which is very similar to this, where he kind of runs into her by accident, and she's smitten with him, and he's in the middle of trying to save the world, as Tom Cruise often is, and she gets wrapped up in it. So something like that. Those movies are fun.
I like the bones.
Yeah, exactly.
robbery's pretty easy to begin with because you gotta get out of there right afterwards.
Exactly.
Stumble into a speed date, stumble into your dream girl, kidnap her,
of course,
and then involve her in this crime you committed.
Yeah.
But I think it probably has to turn into something like where he kidnaps her. The cops, there's so much time in the speed date. Maybe he kidnaps her as like a backup plan.
Sure.
Hasn't really told her why he's kidnapped her. No. Takes her up to a hotel. He's got cash on him, even though it probably shouldn't be used.
It's covered in ink.
Some of it's exploding blue colors. And then she sees his picture on the news.
Oh, okay.
Part of me wants her to be like,
that's funny.
She ends up being the DA, or she's just a total kind of like aloof hippie crystal girl.
That's fun too. No, I like that. I like having her. If he's a bank robber, then she should absolutely be the DA, an off-duty cop, whatever the yin to his yang is, which will make it even more fun. As she realizes the situation she's actually in, as the halo and the glow of this date starts to wear off, she's realizing like, we're looking out the window a lot. Are we ordering room service? Whose room is this?
I think for it to work, she has to really like him too.
Yeah.
Like there's a great connection there, and so then the crisis moment is when she finds out, or he tells her why he's being so surveillance-y.
Yes.
And she's like, oh my God, like I'm the DA. Right. I'm going to prosecute you.
Put you away for a long time.
Why would you put me away? We love each other already.
Right.
Like, I thought, I love you.
This turkey sandwich that's cold. They brought up 3 hours after he ordered it.
I'm paying for the room service, so I thought there was love.
Yeah, right. Is that how that works? Yeah. So it could be, just a fun, messy, people on the other side of the tracks falling for each other type movie. And maybe there's got to be he discovers some corrupt something, and she's like, that's the bigger bad guy.
That's how you make the movie. He didn't rob a bank. He stole like the super COVID disease from what's a pharmaceutical company's name?
Geyser.
Yes. From Geyser, the healthcare company. He stole that, and he's like, look, I've got these people coming after me, but they're developing. So now we have a reason for her to want to work with him, and I don't know how the rest of the movie goes.
We can figure it out. That's what the feature episodes are for. But that will be fun to be a thriller. It's got the punny name is gonna tickle me for a while. We may be revisiting this one tonight, John. But
Speed Date.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I have been trying to get over my premature ejaculation, but that's in no way
we'll figure that
related to this film name at all.
All right. I can only climax if I'm being chased by the police. So this is your lucky night.
All right, we tried to go weird with beer number 3.
You got there.
Lord knows we'll get there with beer number 4, and you'll find out in a second.
3 down were probably halfway done already.
Beer number 4. Checked in by Kane. Made by The Veil. Who for a while was pretty sexy in terms of breweries. Yeah. This one is called In 2 Pieces. The number 2.
2 pieces.
In 2 Pieces is a bikini store.
I was gonna say it depends on what you're talking about. It could be a real big problem, or just describe it a bikini.
I like my biscuits in 2 pieces. I like my bikinis in 2 pieces. I like my women in 1.
Ooh. So the thing that jumped into my head first was there's a magician.
Of course.
Harry the Magnificent or whatever. And let's not make it that.
Kane
the Courageous. Kane the Confounding Kane.
There
we go. Perfect. And doing a show, and they get to the trick where it's the need an audience member to come up, I'm going to saw you in half trick, which you don't really saw them in half, spoiler alert. But tonight, poor Kane, I guess what we see is him start the trick and start cutting this box in half with this woman in it, and she starts to scream, and he's, good job acting.
You're doing great.
Yeah, they were putting on a good show. And then blood starts spraying everywhere. and Kane truly saws her in half. And kind of what we learn immediately is this wasn't supposed to happen. Obviously, this was a surprise to Kane and the woman. And I think what will kind of be revealed is someone like switched out his fake trick with a real saw and a real box, and yeah, it's framed Kane as a murderer. Who was this woman? Who framed him? And it's another kind of whodunit kind of murder mystery thing, except we know who the murderer is. We know that Kane did it, but who swapped out the trick saw, why? And it becomes one of those fun movies we were trying to. Everyone in the audience is a suspect. Lock the building down. I mean, there could be like a washed up cop in the audience who's 19 bourbons deep, just a huge Kane fan, so he's biased. And then we could do like a double twist where like Kane did want to murder this woman. He knew he'd have his fan, the cop, in the audience who would try to prove Kane's innocence and get Kane off scot-free. That could be a crazy, wild third act there. Or maybe we just make it that someone's out to get Kane for some reason.
I mean, the Bible endless. Gives us a great basis for this. The amazing Abel.
Got it, yes.
Kane's rival magician up in Boston.
Of course.
Has tricked his box out.
Yeah.
I don't really know how those boxes work. I assume the woman just crunches up into one half and there's fake legs.
Correct.
But, so this would be really fun right for the opening of the movie, and you see the box come apart and her guts spill out, and Kane's like, oh
my god,
oh god,
what have I done?
But I love you're taking the beginning when she's like acting up, and he's like, oh yeah, you're doing great.
You're great.
Yeah,
this
keep this going, keep this energy going.
A little heavy than I remember.
God, get through it.
I don't remember putting fake blood in here.
Makes a big deal about how sharp it is.
Exactly right.
Saws a log in half first or something.
That was easier than I remember.
Don't worry, you're totally safe. I put the dividers
totally
down.
Fine. Nothing to worry about, sweetheart.
And it ends up being Kane gets arrested. He's in jail. He's a magician in jail.
Right. So that easily immediately escapes.
When do you want me to take these handcuffs?
Stop doing that.
Empty your pockets. Okay, but I have this scarf.
Here's a bird. Here's another bird.
So lots of fun to be had there. And Kane's trying to solve, I guess not solve the murder, but solve who framed him.
Yeah, exactly.
From jail.
Yeah.
As a magician, like sending pigeons out the
window
and stuff.
He could be, yeah. Or he could just be like locked in there. Like they lock it down, or he locks it down, or the building's locked down. So they're trapped all together. We could do it a couple different ways. We'd flesh it out in the feature. But we got something there in two pieces.
I mean, it's right there with the title. I like where you went. I like the magic, but real magic in this for Beer Me That Movie First. Real magic being, of course, fake magic.
Right.
But
who's to tell? This could have been a movie about pie. Every pie is just two pieces away from...
One for you, one big one for me.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's already 4 into 2025. Wow. Let's see what the fifth beer is going to be.
Moving on to the next beer.
For our fifth beer of 2025, it's made by a brewery called Test. It's checked in by a person named Max, and it's called Innervision. Innervision.
Not outer vision, which I guess is what we're doing now. Innervision.
Oh, man. Wouldn't it be crappy if your eyes were reversed?
Yeah, it would be very boring and gross.
I guess I don't need these.
Right. Be blind, basically.
Innervision. It sounds like intervention,
it
but
does.
It's not intervention.
That's not this.
The first... it's not an idea, but the first thought I have is we all know what television is.
Yes,
and in most of our lifetimes, television went from like over the air antenna to cable to whatever the hell it is now. Where I'm like, I don't even know how to watch this football game. Right. Is it on one of the 40 streaming services? Is it on regular TV?
Right. A TV play football game. Microwaving taco.
I mean, yes, but
thank you as always.
So Innervision is the true next evolution in television where your media is broadcast directly to you through an Elon Musk brain chip that we all got.
We have to get, forced to get.
Well, first they sold that they're like, yeah, this way you can check your Facebook just by blinking your eyes, exactly, as easy as anything. And then it evolved, and then you were getting like you're up in bed at 2 a.m. and you're looking at jewelry and knife sales on some version of Home Shopping Network, and you never blink anymore.
People just living Innervision lives, zoned out on the subway in their own heads. I can see this.
I mean, it's not too far from where we are. Now you just hold your cell phone.
Right. So we got our posture will be better, but our freedom will be gone. It's coming.
There's dynamic ads depending on where you are.
Of course.
Jersey Mike's is right across the corner, but Jimmy John's is right here.
Right here.
I'm trying to watch ESPN.
You're in Jimmy John's. How did I get here?
We directed you here.
Right, exactly. Move the sidewalk. Okay, I can see this future. It's coming for all of us, whether we're ready for it or not. All right, so I understand the world. What do we do to make this a movie? What's the incident? What's the thing? Is some have some unique skill, some see something they shouldn't, can do something they shouldn't? What are you seeing there?
I mean, at first I'm only seeing the dystopia of us all being subjects of the media, but if we fast forward, let's say hopefully 200 years, hopefully no less,
okay.
Where this Innervision has become mainstream, people are born with it, and it's like everyone has Innervision. Gosh. But also society has changed, where you've got your immediate ruling class, which is very small, very, very small, and then everyone else is just provided the things they need, including Innervision. You don't even have to decide what you want to watch on TV. In fact, it's pre-programmed for you.
Right.
Everyone works from 9 to 5.
Right.
And at 5 o'clock, you eat dinner with your family. And then at 6, your shows come on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so distracting. You can't even really interact with your family. No. How was your day? It's just you get right into your shows. So it's almost like a world where, to your point, Harrison, we have given up a lot of our freedom because no one even has the capacity to want
right
anymore.
Exactly. That's the Aldous Huxley thing, that they'll be happy to give it away because you're so entertained with everything. We even realize it's happening, John. This is happening right now. We're part of it. We're the entertainment. Oh God, we're in the Innervision. So no, we're not. I like this. Okay, so there's a world where no one's free, but nobody even realizes they basically hooked themselves up to the Matrix, and are just kind of dawdling along. So yeah, we got to have somebody come in here who can either maybe is born without Innervision, has it but can change the channel differently, maybe can hack into the CCTV network and sees a murder they shouldn't see, and then you've got some kind of Minority Report type situation where they're trying to chase down this. He has outer vision and Innervision. He's the one they warned us about.
I like that. We paint the picture of this dystopian future. You have someone that's sort of like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix. Yep. Maybe they're a hacker. Character. Maybe they got a concussion and their Innervision stopped working, or maybe they just flick. They're they learn how to flick the channel, and they're like, guys, you know how we get one ham sandwich every week, and we think that's so cool. Yeah. They're eating ham off the bone. Right. I saw it in my Innervision. I just flick the channels. You can't flick the channels. It's all programmed for us.
Calm down, quiet down over there.
Another one goes crazy, and maybe he goes to the crazy bin, and he sees other people that are claiming to see more than what the Innervision shows.
Ooh, I like this. Bands together. Yeah. This could be very fun. Kind of like 12 Monkeys, or there's lots of movies that are close to what we're talking about. But I like this. We're in the future too, kind of Blade Runner world. Everyone's plugged into their own head, and one person's able to look beyond that, and that's dangerous. So we gotta they're gonna try and shut him down while he's racing to the mainframe to shut down all the Innervisions. We could figure out what they're racing to and what's at stake here. But maybe something like that to try to free the world of all their inner visions, and they can start smelling things again and get more than one ham sandwich a week. And who knows? It's a dream big, dream real big.
I mean, the idea where everything's taken care of for you is appealing,
yes,
but
exactly.
one ham sandwich a week is not very appealing, especially if you don't get to pick the bread, because every once in a while you're gonna get like a rye.
Oh, God, right.
You're gonna hope for sourdough, and then you're gonna get
Wonder Bread,
gluten-free wheat. So,
right.
Yeah,
sorghum wheat grain wrap. You got to wrap this week. I got to what? I got to wrap? What did I do wrong? Oh my gosh.
Our rations are low. We're supporting the war with
yeah, what war? And then a space snake shows
I
up.
have eliminated all the snakes, but we are still at war with West Eurasia.
What about the space snakes? The what? The space snakes, you fool!
the war.
The war in the faraway land.
The war that everyone's going to except for you lazy bum.
Anyone who speaks up in class and then disappears. They're at that war, fighting for your freedom. Ugh,
your ham sandwich.
That's right, the ham sandwich. Fighting for all the ham sandwiches. Even just wanting to wrap.
Probably definitely other things you could do with that, but I'm kind of stuck on the idea that it's at least like a state-controlled media that's fed to you against your will.
Yep.
But sort of, you think it's your will. Like, and you've never heard of Family Matters. You've never heard of Full House. You just watch Family House, and it's a state-funded like show, and you're made to believe like this is funny.
Right. I wonder if, just as a thought to make it a little bit different, if this person who can control the Innervision, instead of them racing to the tower that has a mainframe in it, what if they can like enter the Innervision and they can like move through the network of videos and blah, 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 and take him out from the inside. They like can enter the Matrix at like Neo. That's very Matrixy. Maybe not, but it's a little different than like running and blowing up a building at the right time, which I feel like is every action movie. Maybe they can do it a little bit differently with using their gift of the power of over Innervision.
Or maybe we borrow from 1984 and he dies at the end.
Sure, exactly. It could be a tragedy. It certainly is a tragic world. Probably isn't ready for, and that could be the sad ending of people being like, don't blow the mainframe up. I'm going to miss my shows. What are you doing? And he's like, I can't free all these sheep. They'll walk off a cliff the first
Family House is doing war fundraising. I have to watch it.
Right, for the war effort. For our freedom. And he's like, oh, never mind. You guys stink. I'm just going to walk into the woods and live there by myself. Pull out my chip and all.
True, that's the real way out.
That's right. I'm not going to save anybody. I'm just going to save myself. You can't. That's
anyone that's ever tried to convince their liberal friend to be conservative or their conservative friend to be liberal knows that you can't unplug them.
That's right. There's no unplugging. Only death does that. And well, we don't need to be doing that.
True. That's not advice.
That's not advice. I heard this guy say it on this podcast. That's all we're saying. It's just a movie podcast, but anyway, that's so a lot to think about with Innervision. Deep stuff.
So that's 5 of them. Do you want to keep last year's tradition and throw an ultimatum in here?
Oh yeah, we need to do. Let's do one. I think we've got some juicy meat on the bone, as they would say in Innervision.
The ham
Innervision
bone.
Upper class.
All I got was a bone sandwich.
A bone wrap. It's all bone.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's see what we can find in the ultimatum lands.
And that's 5 of 5 beers. But we'll throw in a bonus idea, because Harrison does his best work on a deadline.
So for our ultimatum beer, we've got one made by Societe.
Yeah.
Societe Brewing.
It's just Society. They just spell it in a
Society
fun way.
spelled in a fun way. Society Brewing Company. Given to us by John. It's called Unknown Depths. And here is Harrison and I having some fun with that. I want it to be the Abyss. I love the Abyss.
Me too. That's kind of basically what I was thinking, but I combined it with Avatar, where someone discovers some species under the ocean and falls in love with one of them. unknown depths, the unknown depths of his heart. You know, a rock hard, no nonsense, no fun guy, a deep sea diver, the bravest of the brave, stumbles upon a beautiful merwoman.
She
Can't love.
breathes in his mouth after he runs out of
course.
oxygen, but she drowns him because she breathes water.
Takes his helmet off and his head immediately implodes under the pressure. Oh, what have you done? War on the mer people. They've killed our best diver. Nuke the ocean.
He somehow survives, and he's teaching them how to go to war with humankind.
Extremely weak outside of our tiny armor suits. We only have them on when we're deep sea diving. I'm sure you think we all wear them.
Yeah.
We don't. Oh, God. He does survive somehow.
With a tiny
That's
head.
what tiny-headed man. Hey, the burr people. I was a leader from the people above. Why does he talk like this? I don't trust him.
Okay, so that's 5 beers in 2025. Got to remind you of that.
Yep.
If you still write checks, you're probably still hating it, but it'll get better.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, 5 beers in, plus an ultimatum. And now it's everyone's favorite time of the Fast Five. We have to pick one of these beers and decide which one is going to get turned into a movie next week. And I always let Harrison do that all by himself. He's so good at it.
You try to, John. Shoot. This actually had some great ones. This might be one of the hardest ones we've had in a long time. I'll do the easy way out and scratch stuff out backwards, do it that I don't want to do.
That's the way I pick what I eat at Taco Bell.
Right, exactly. Or when I'm going to merge. Nope, not yet, not yet. Not in front of the truck. Okay. So as fun as Deceptive Creature was, I don't know. I don't think I have that. And that one was the least thought out, so
Okay.
we can boot that one to start.
I won't fight you over that.
Fun idea, but not tonight. Oh boy.
I'll cross one out.
Okay.
It gets harder as you go.
Immediately.
And the one I'm going to cross out, I really love the premise for, but I'm going to cross out the magician that accidentally kills, dubbed Timu magician trick.
Timu magician.
In 2 pieces.
Right. Was it? What was his name? Kane? Confounding Kane. Confounding Kane.
And Amazing Abel.
Amazing Abel.
We would have got some traction with that.
We would have.
Tie in some Bible verses.
We'll put it in the vault. You may see it in the future. Okay, fine. I'm happy with that. Oh boy.
So we're down to Speed Date.
Yes.
Unknown Depths and Back Alley Kitty.
Oh man, as fun as Back Alley Kitty. I don't know, John. I think for me, I don't know. Do you have something you're leaning towards out of the 3? Do you think you know?
I'm leaning towards Back Alley Kitty, but only for 2 reasons.
Okay.
1, I think the name makes me laugh.
Yes.
And 2, I want to see what sort of artwork I can put on these posters behind us.
Okay.
So not really good reasons, but
no, those are good reasons. All right, that's good. I mean, I like Speed Date a lot. I just don't know. That would be fun. I would watch that movie. And then obviously Unknown Depths is just ridiculous. I don't know. I think we did that. I think we got as much out of Unknown Depths. we ended up nuking the ocean. Things got escalated quickly there. Since the mer people took a step too far. Oh boy. Okay. Let's do Back Alley Kitty. Let's go back to to beer number 1. Yeah.
I think it's the first time we ever picked beer number 1.
You think you're right? I think we got close before.
I could be wrong. I don't remember much.
Man, I don't remember
of
either.
2024 at all.
I don't remember anything about anything.
Yesterday or this morning
or 40 minutes ago. All right, let's do Back Alley Kitty. That will be a fun artwork.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm in for the name and the posters.
And we'll try to make this not kick us off of YouTube as we make this movie next, or in a couple minutes, but you guys will see it next week.
Yeah, so that's that for this first Fast Five of 2025. Make sure you're subscribed, or at least check in on us next Wednesday when you get to see what the hell happens with Back Alley Kitty.
Oh boy. Until then,
Peace.
punch.
Give me your lunch.
You creepy Back Alley Kitty. Lunch is what Back Alley Kitties call there.
Maybe she's a marsupial.
That's what my mind went there. So we're going to see if it carries over. That's our surprise. I have an interdimensional marsupial pouch. I carry out my magic in.